to the government or to these other people who are in the government as well, so that we can even start to deconstruct all these people from the external going all the way to the internal. Is it possible, Dr. Arid? That's my question.
Thank you. Before I hand over the mic to Dr. Miguna Miguna, I would like to encourage people to listen to the spaces we've had before, because Bin Laden, please mute your mic, because he's actually spoken about the things that some of us are still posing questions on. That would really save time, because otherwise we're going to go back and forth, which is really not very helpful. And so that's why sometimes when I appear like I'm rushing you, it's not like I really want to rush you, but that's just the point I want to make, that, repetition is really just a waste of time. Time is money. Dr. Ari, over to you as you conclude.
Thank you very much, Maj. Thank you, everybody. Thank the co-hosts. So, number one, the protests continue. There is no postponement. There is no reverse gear. There is no surrender. We move and march forward. We protest peacefully. We protest orderly, in an orderly manner. We protest in huge numbers. We congregate at specific points. How you reach there is your issue. Whether you walk, whether you take a bike, whether you take a matatu, whether you take a bus, whether you drive, is your issue. As long as you arrive there. You arrive there early enough, if possible dressed in white, in black, and in green. That is what we agreed on. Carry a flag, carry water. Try to be with people that you know, if possible. If not, people that are clearly demonstrators. Carry your phone if you can. Take pictures. Stream live if you can, because it is helpful. If you see the goons, take their pictures and disseminate widely so that we can expose them. Share information. If you're arrested, call LSK. They have pro bono lawyers to assist you. I go to the question that was asked by the gentleman that spoke last. He asked if there are other means of removing a tyrannical regime from power. Historically and practically, there are only 3 ways of removing a regime. Number one, in a democratic society, and Kenya is far from democratic, you do so by having credible, transparent, accountable elections. We did an election. Unfortunately, Ruto became rogue and thought an election was a coronation. He thought being president was being a king. And he thought citizens were his subjects, that he can do whatever he wants and get away with it. The second one is through a coup d'etat. A military can take power and replace a regime. And the third one is a popular revolution, a popular, peaceful revolution on the streets. So we don't have a military that we want to take power, and we don't want the military engaged in politics. Elections are so far, and Ruto has already looted the entire country and wants to continue mismanaging, abducting people, and committing extrajudicial killings. We are tired of that. We can't have him for the next 3 years. So we resort to popular revolution, peaceful, on the street, under clause 1 of the Constitution, saying enough is enough. We are taking back the country. We have a right under clause 1 of the Constitution to exercise our sovereignty and to be able to remove the delegation that we vested in you, because you have abused us. You have just abused the power that we gave you. You have refused to be accountable to us. And after we do that, as I said last week, there is a process. And I will go over the process again so that we don't have these repetitions. Number one, we set up a national transitional authority a civilian body made up of 54 volunteers, one from each national ethnic community, professionals who will comprise the youth, men, women of integrity from all religious backgrounds. They will be volunteers. They will not be paid. And they will work in order to set up, one, an independent investigative authority to investigate all questionable land grabs or land allocations, corruption scandals, allegations of institutional and individual abuse, political assassinations, looting from 1963 to now, so that we can put all these grievances to rest once and for all. We can have our country back. We can have our productive land back so that we can turn it into a factor of production in order to eliminate food insecurity and all manner of problems. Then, within 2 weeks, the National Transitional Authority will reconstitute the IEBC. So let's stop talking about the IEBC, because if we allow Ruto to reconstitute the IEBC, he will fill it up with his girlfriends and cronies. And then the elections of 2027 will be a coronation, because these people will help him steal the elections. This is what Uhuru tried through the people that were at Serena Hotel, remember? Those were put there strategically so that they could coronate Raila Odinga in the last election, so that we didn't have to have a credible election. We should put an end to electoral injustice by having this IEBC overhauled. It's going to be made up of credible Kenyans with integrity, Kenyans who are not going to serve any specific interest or political party. And then within 3 months, then we have fresh presidential and general elections. This is a very clear thing, and it is doable. As I said last week, elections are routine matters. Election is not a very difficult thing to do. Then we can adopt the technology
blockchain.
The blockchain technology that our friend was talking about, to secure the electoral process, to make it tamper-proof. Like yesterday, they locked me out of my phone. They pretended to be sending me information through DMs. Then I read it, and within a short time, I was not able to use my Twitter on my phone. Right now, I'm speaking to you on my laptop because they invaded my phone. So they are trying everything. And you know, if you are really a Democrat, if you really respect your people, if you really believe that you mean well for the country, you wouldn't do these things. You wouldn't hire hackers to attack your critics. You wouldn't hire goons to abduct your critics. You wouldn't charge your critics for saying Ruto must go. That's under the Bill of Rights. That's free speech. You cannot take anybody to court and they are convicted because they sang Ruto must go. From now on,